Happy Friday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, host of The Daily Dope. That's right, presented by thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. Yes, the founder and editor-in-chief. Welcome aboard. Tonight is Friday, July 26th, 2019. This is episode 336 of The Daily Dope. So, do want to point out, yes, I am still under the weather. I still have this weird bloody splotch here from getting dragged down at San Diego Comic-Con and smashing my face on the ground. For some reason, it seems like this is getting worse. I don't know. It doesn't hurt or anything. It's just weird. So yes, I am still under the weather. I still have the con crud. You can probably tell in my voice. Now it's in my chest. So don't be too shocked if I spend a little time hacking and coughing on tonight's show. And of course, it's still kind of in my sinuses as well. So I'll just fall it apart, people. What can I tell you? But the show must go on. So on tonight's show, I am going to unbox and take a first look at Heart of Crown Fairy Garden from Japanime Games. This is a standalone expansion to Heart of Crown, and I will be taking a look at that in just a few moments. Do want to mention that because this is a live stream. It's a very, very casual show. I just usually share some tabletop gaming news. I'm not doing that tonight. It's going to be a shorter show, probably one of the shorter shows in quite a while, but share some news, usually do an unboxing like I am tonight, or maybe I'll do a review or page through an RPG book, and there is chat available because it's a live stream. Do want to point out, chat is not on screen, so it's one of the ways that I keep some of the stranger commenters at bay. But I do pay attention to the chat, so if you want to say howdy, or maybe you've got a question, or maybe there's something about Heart of Crown, Fairy Garden that you'd like to get a closer look at, by all means, please chime in and I will respond. We'll want to point out that it is a Friday show. Friday shows, chat usually is pretty quiet because it's Friday nights. People are out, they're playing games, they're not watching me talk about games. So, did mention there's no news tonight, but I do want to bring up what I was talking about yesterday. I said I had somebody send me an email asking, hey, what kind of cool stuff did I pick up at San Diego Comic-Con? And I mentioned I really didn't buy a lot of stuff. A lot of the exclusives, you have to be selected ahead of time to even be able to stand in line to buy them. I didn't put in for a lot of stuff, and what I did, I didn't get anyway. My brother Greg did get the Hasbro exclusives, so he went and picked some of those up, but there just wasn't anything that was really knocking my socks off. I'm not one of these guys who goes to a convention and is like, oh, that's an exclusive, I'll buy that so I can sell that, make some money. It's not my style. So what did I get? I only got three things. So first off, I did get this baseball cap, which is this was a Comic-Con exclusive, and yes, it is Snoopy on the moon. So it is actually celebrating the 50th anniversary of the lunar landing. So I did buy this. And then I saw this tentacle kitty, which I thought was kind of funny, right? It's got little tentacles. So I thought, okay, well, I'll pick that up because I was just picking stuff up that's gonna like go behind me, right? So I'm gonna plop that little tentacle kitty right there behind me. It's got a little like, almost like alien eyes there, these green eyes. And then we were looking around for stuff for my niece, and my brother was looking to pick stuff up for his daughter. Yeah. So anyway, so we're walking along, and I see this. It says stink box on it, right? So effectively what it is, it's a cat. And the cat is sitting in their litter box, right? And then it's got this little, like, there's the litter, right? So the cat sits on top of it. Well, the funny thing was, there were, I think, 16 different kinds of cats, and it was a blind draw. And I don't know, there was just something about this that just cracked me up, because if you own a cat, and if you've ever been in the same room as the litter box, while they're using the litter box, it's sort of like this. Or the cat will be using the box and just be looking at you like, yeah, and? So I thought this was pretty funny too. So I think this will fit up here. There we go. All right. So like I said, I was just picking stuff up. Oh, you can't even see that now. Hey, that's no good. Well, I'll figure something out. All right, so yes, so that is what I picked up at San Diego Comic-Con, and altogether it came up to like $38. So, I know. Well, if I had actually not been dragged to the ground on Thursday and was able to walk on Friday, I may have been able to buy some other stuff, but I was not really very mobile Saturday and Sunday there. I mean, I was walking around, but I was still in a lot of pain. So, anywho, so that's that. Also, I want to say I've been watching The Boys on Amazon. I am 4 episodes into that. I'm enjoying it. It's pretty subversive. You can tell it's a Garth Ennis book. I'll tell you that much. So, and I understand that it was actually renewed for a second season before it even premiered. It was renewed. I want to say I think it was a week ago today at Comic-Con that Amazon announced that they were already renewing it. Told you about the coughing, right? Anyway, it was a week ago tonight that Amazon had mentioned that they were going to renew it for a second season. So pretty cool. I'm enjoying it. So anyway, as I mentioned, I'm under the weather. You can probably tell I'm a little discombobulated as well. So no news tonight. I am actually going to kind of jump in. We're going to unbox and do a first look at Heart of Crown Fairy Garden in just a moment. But before I do that, do want to point out, if you like the Gaming Gang, if you dig the Gaming Gang channel, please consider making a small donation to Lil Bub and the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Yes, the ASPCA. Lil Bub's Big Fund does provide grant monies to organizations throughout the United States who care for special needs animals who are awaiting adoption. These animals could be a little long in the tooth, like myself, or it's possible that they have mobility issues or require medication daily. They might be blind or deaf or have some other disability. Regardless, these animals do deserve to find loving homes, and that's what Lil Bub's Big Fund is all about. So as I say, you already know the Gaming Gang and the Daily Dope, it's all a not-for-profit endeavor anyway. So if you do like the site, you like the show, you like the channel, consider tossing a couple of bucks towards Lil Bub's Big Fund. And if you do, be sure to shoot me an email. My email address is right down there. It's jeffmcaleer@thegaminggang.com. Let me know, and if you'd like, I'll be more than happy to give you a shout out on the following show. All right, so Heart of Crown Fairy Garden is from Japanime Games. Wait a second here. For crying out loud. I didn't have that set up right. Sorry about that, gang. All right, so Heart of Crown Fairy Garden is from Japanime Games. It's designed by Ginkgo. The game is for 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, plays in around 30 to 60 minutes, and carries an MSRP of $49.95. So we have About is joining us in chat. Very professional, very strange you don't have more viewers. I've been doing this a long time. The website pulls in a lot of visitors. You know, I got a face for radio, what can I tell you? And I have a voice for silent movies, I guess I'll say. So anyway, I am completely unfamiliar with this game system here, and for some strange reason, we are getting some choppiness. Let's see what's going. Yeah, you know what? This happened last night too. Something's going on with the connection here. I'm wondering what's up with this. Yeah, see how it's kind of pixelated? So I will hop up here and unplug this again, because this is what it cleared it up yesterday too. That is really strange. Now watch, everything should probably be fine. Yeah, see? Huh, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm gonna have to, I have been tearing stuff apart down here as I prepare to go to Gen Con next week. So I am bringing some stuff with me. So I have been kind of rearranging things behind me on the old beat up shelves. So let me put the reading specs on here. And as I mentioned, it's for 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up. It plays in about 30 to 60 minutes. Yes, it's the old turn it on, turn it off, turn it back on trick. Yeah, something must be going on here with the cable. And I'm just taking a look to make sure that, because I have 2 cats, making sure that neither one of them did a little chewing on the HDMI cable that runs from the camera to the computer. Doesn't look like it. So, it says, Heart of Crown Fairy Garden is a standalone expansion for Heart of Crown that brings the mysterious Fae into the game as never before. It is playable alone or combined with other Heart of Crown sets. Heart of Crown is a deck-building card game. Each player starts with a deck that gives you the resources to acquire more land and followers to make your deck stronger. I believe what you're trying to do is you're trying to put your princess on the throne. I believe that's what your aim is. When your deck is strong enough, it's time to back a princess. There you go. Once you back a princess, she'll come to your aid with her unique ability. Then the race for the crown begins. All right, I'm not going to read everything here. So let's open this on up. I will mention that this box is not really large. I don't have very big hands. But it does have some good heft to it, so I can tell that we've got quite a few cards in this. I believe I saw something along the lines of 330 cards. So let's find out what we've got. So we've got a rule book. There we go. We've got some decks of cards. We've got some larger cards. I'm going to take a guess. These are probably randomizers, seeing it is a deck builder. We got plenty of room for more expansions. It says tokens are inside. All right, so we know tokens are inside. So first off, let's look at the rules. So this is I do believe, a Japanese game that has been localized by Japanime Games for the U.S. So it says, the story, the summer solstice is coming, that time when the walls between worlds grow thin. These lands have known the touch of the Fae since time immemorial, but now they come at the height of the crisis over the imperial secession. Emperor Hellard warned against having dealings with the Fae, but now he's gone. In these tense times, those who would seek the throne can scarcely pass up any edge that could bring them victory. The common fairies now reveal themselves as they haven't done in a generation, and the fairy queen herself might just pay a visit. Call on their aid if you wish, but remember that the Fae are creatures of whimsy who have their own ways and wants. So, of course, because it is a Japanese game, it does have a Japanese anime style of artwork here. There are a few different artists. I did check out the credits of the game, because usually when I do an unboxing, and of course when I do a review, I like to give credit to the artists. Unfortunately, I would butcher their names, so I was not going to even attempt it. All right, X Solara X1 is popping in. Good to see you, X1. I figured it'd be a quiet Friday. I think what might be happening is people are like, yeah, well, I don't feel like watching the gaming news tonight, so I'll just tune in a little late, not realizing I'm not doing any gaming news tonight. So, just for X1's benefit, I am doing an unboxing and taking a first look at Heart of Crown Fairy Garden. So, we've got Back Your Princess. So it says your goal is to set the princess you've chosen onto the throne. Start by getting city and large city cards to get more coins as tax revenue. Money, money, money. So that you can get a princess card. There are 6 princess cards to choose from. 5 lone princesses and 1 pair of twins. Each has a special ability that can help you, but it's first come, first served. Alright, so you got succession points, how you gain them. Here's a rules summary. Understanding the cards, so these are the princess cards, this is how they break down. Common cards. Basic market cards, rare cards. Card types. Symbols and special terms. So we have the, with the little crown, it's a secession symbol. So I guess those are secession points. Money, obviously, and I guess that's draw 2. So preparing to play, you're starting decks. I'm a fan of deck building games. My nephew Cameron, who's part of the gang, he is a big fan of deck builders of all kinds. And I have no idea why there's all this like dust on the table tonight. So we've got the turn procedure. Looks like there's probably quite a bit to this, because we're already at 15 pages. Victory conditions. We got some other rules. Got a little FAQ. And FAQ by topic. Okay, cool. Since this is a standalone expansion, I would take a guess that the any maybe rules issues from the first game would probably be ironed out for this one here. So those are the rules there. So let's pop some of these decks out. We'll take a look at what tokens we've got as well. And of course, I will zoom in so we can get a better look at the cards. So as I mentioned, we're going to have quite a few cards here, because we've got 6 decks. And then we got this little box. Oh, I thought it was a box for a second. Oh, cool. So we've already got the these coins. Looks like these are going to do double duty here. I'll zoom in when we look at the cards. We'll look at these tokens too. So let's see what we've got. As I mentioned before, I think these are probably randomizers or dividers. That's a possibility too. They could be dividers. Yeah, they're probably divider cards. Let's double check. Yeah, probably. I would take a guess they probably go in like that to divide the different types of cards. So quite a lot of different kinds of cards here. I'll tell you that right now. And there's a kind of a little, this is for the princesses. The princesses have like a different color card. That's kind of cool. Okay, so let's zoom on in. I'll start opening up these decks and we'll start taking a look. So I'm going to try to go with what looks like the different values here. So we'll start off with some of the cheaper cards. Wow, that was weird. All of a sudden, the focus just was like, "Where are you going, Jeff?" It's like, what was that? It's like, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out the cable for the camera here, because when I got back from Comic-Con, because we used the camera that I used for the overhead shots to shoot our interviews and press conferences and stuff. So there's nothing wrong with the camera. I can tell because I can look up and actually see the little monitor on the camera. So, oh wow, are these two cards stuck together? Yep, they are. I was going to say, This is a really thick card. But you know what? Even after I pull them apart, this is a pretty darn thick card. But, see, here's the problem now. Look. Because they were stuck together, now we got that issue with the card in the corner. Hate when that happens with some of these cards, with some of these card games, where when they're manufactured, the cards stick together, and then when you're trying to separate them, you end up doing some foxing or color breaks on the backs of the cards. So, you know, granted, if you're using a card sleeves that have some sort of a backing on them, it's not a problem. But still, right out of the box, first two cards we're looking at, that happens to one of them. So that is not good. That is not good. So I'm going to take a guess that these are the starting hand cards here. Your starting deck. We have an apprentice maid. So it appears that they're worth 1 gold or -2 succession points. Succession, I should say. Royal Maid. Senator. Got a Duke. A curse card, okay. And that's, then we've got the Imperial Crown. So I'm going to take a wild stab that maybe that's who, when you win the game, you get this. That's a possibility. Okay, so that's the first deck. Well, that was the only card that looked like it was sticking together there. So let's see how this deck comes out. Yeah, I guess it's pretty obvious I'm not a shill, huh? It's like, hey, what the hell's this? What the hell's going on with this? Okay, so we got Messenger, Fairy of the Spring Breeze, Librarian, Blessing, Star Reader Oracle, and of course, the cards have special abilities and things like that. Leaf Fairy, so you get to draw a card. It says, draw a card. You may discard 1 farming village from your hand. If you do, select 1 non-territory card from your discard pile with a cost of 4 or less. Add it to your hand. So, like most deck building games, of course, you're probably going to try to cull out your starting cards out of the deck. Every once in a while, there are deck building games that you don't actually try to burn cards out of your deck. But for the most part, most of them you do. So here we have Traveling Entertainer, Guildmaster, a Nymph, Street Fortune Teller. You can only buy a Street Fortune Teller if you've played a territory with a cost of 3 or less this turn. When you buy a Street Fortune Teller from your market, or from the market, each of your opponents acquires a curse card. Yuck. I would take a guess the curse cards are probably just filler cards. You see that with games where, like, if you're taking wounds and things like that, you'll get those wound cards. Hey, Viper Dave is popping in. Good to see you, Viper Dave. Happy Friday, TGIF. We've got the Imperial Manor, Plantation. Strangely enough, this doesn't look like what I imagine a plantation to be, right? With windmills. Of course, living here in the United States, I think plantation, down south, right? Okay, so we've got that's that deck. We still have 4 decks to go here. Okay, so we've got the Spy. Uh-oh, see? A couple of cards stuck together here. Well, thankfully they didn't pull any of the color off. Hearth Spirits, Messenger. Okay, we saw the fairy before, Librarian's Blessing. So one thing I do notice is these cards have different backing colors. So now the artwork here is not in full color. So I'm taking a guess that these are the randomizers. Yeah, because they're all individual. So I would guarantee that those are the randomizers here. As you can see, this has a blue back. These are kind of almost like a mauve background. These are the princesses here. So these all have the same backing color. I'm going to take a guess they do. Yeah, it's all that mauve. They all have that mauve color or a little purplish color. So let's see, we got the princesses here. So each of the princesses give you a special ability once you back one of the princesses to try to gain the throne. So she gives you 6 succession points. He's got a little teddy bear. Well, I have to admit, we haven't seen a whole lot of fan service in this, so that's nice. Not that I really care, but we had the one character in a bikini, the traveling entertainer. I think that's all we really saw. That was sort of like, it's a little fan service there. We have the Scholar Princess, Princess General. Oh, here these are the twins, and here's the Fairy Queen who can show up. All right, and then we get back to some cards from the deck. So we've got the Spy, Pilgrim. This one we haven't seen yet. Hearth Spirits. And there's the Messenger. Okay, all right. Excuse me. If you're joining me late, I skipped doing the news today because I am still really, really under the weather. Really, really am. So I'm going to put these princesses off to the side as well. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see if the tab will actually work on these. Wow, it did. I'm so used to just using my hobby knife. Because half the time... No, I'm not talking about Japanime Games. I'm talking about just most game companies that have decks of cards that are shrink wrapped. When they give you that little band that goes around it, 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work. You pull at it and it just breaks, and you don't. So that's why I just go, use the hobby knife. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. So we've got the Icy Snow Spirits. And they're wearing like a rabbit mask. Like off to the side, like almost like it's been knocked askew. It's kind of funny. These were kind of stuck together too, but thankfully they did not take any of the backing off. Crossbow Regiment. Huh. I like that artwork there. A little more realistic. Peddler. Brownie. So I do see we've got the Fae. I see we've got these little colored bars too. So it looks like this color is actions. It says magic. Then we got action attack with a surveyor. I don't know how much damage you're going to do with the surveyor. Well, I can see that the battlefield is level. Okay. Merchant Fleet. There we go. So as we can see, we're getting into more expensive cards, so they're more powerful cards. So it says when you buy a merchant fleet from the market, you may also acquire a non-territory card from the market with a cost of 3 or less. I think out of the last 2 decks, we're probably going to run across a bunch of these territory cards because I think all we've seen so far is like the farmland, which I think is part of your starting decks. Ooh, Templar. That's cool. I like that artwork. That's pretty cool. Trading City. Oh, there you go. There's a territory right there. Demon Tribe Warrior. Okay. Chief Maid. Alright, I'll say that's a little bit of fan service there too. So, I don't know what the thing is with maids. I really don't. Got a butler. Oh, Jeeves. And tax collector. I hate when that happens. So we got the tax collector there. And it looks like we pick up with the tax collector here. Well, stuck together on these two. Let's be careful. Alright, good deal. Is another 2? No. Okay. Harvest Festival. Coalition, I should say. What the? Can't even speak tonight. It's another action card. Magistrates. Okay, so now we're getting into some of the territory cards. So we've got City. So that gives you 2 coins for the city. Okay. A lot of city cards. Lots of city cards. Wow. Oh, now we get large city. It's like, so we got a bunch of cities, and we get large city. Okay. And we got our final deck. So let's see what we got here. All right, where you at? Where you at, little tab? Yeah, that's all right. I wonder if these are all going to be territories here. Because we haven't run across a bunch of territories. We've got, what, all of, I think, 4? If those farmlands count. Okay, so more large cities. Yeah, farming village. That's I thought that's what we started off with. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was some other kind of farm card. So we've got those. No, I'm pretty sure we saw this one because it's got that -2 to your secession. Succession. I'm so used to the American Civil War, war games and stuff. Secession, right? It's not secession. This is succession. All right, so we got the farming village. Bunch of these. Is that how we're going to finish off? Yeah, I guess so. So, lots of farming villages, lots of cities. Got a bunch of those. Right, so we've got all of the cards. Now, I'm going to take these tokens because I wanted to kind of show these off for a second because it looks like they might serve 2 purposes because they have artwork on them. Or maybe it's just there's artwork. I don't know. No, see, because these have little little art. They might be player markers. They might be each player has a specific symbol. Like here we've got this. Or they're the princesses because here we've got, looks like those are the twins. And then we've got the coins. We got the money. So we got 5s and we've got singles. So, of course, once I look through the rules, I'll know exactly what these represent. So we've got all the tokens. this stuff back. Might as well zoom back out. Anyway, we've got all the tokens. We've got a bunch of cards. Which, of course, I will sort these out and get these all put in order here. But as I mentioned, I think these are dividers here. I think these were... all right, you come on. I think these were randomizer cards. Okay, so... Knew that was going to happen. Let me just put all this stuff in. So we've got all of that. We've got like 330 cards. These are princesses here. I'll put those separate too. And slide these in here too. Do I have enough room in here? Let's find out. I don't think so. I don't think I'm going to have enough room on this side. I'm going to have to divide this up a little bit. So I will be checking this out probably this weekend because it is going to be another edition of my kind of kit-bashed fantasy role-playing game with my nephew and his girlfriend and a couple of his friends. My nephew Cameron, his girlfriend Lexi, Cameron's friend Cameron, that's fun, right? And Daniel. So, and we might actually have another new player too. So we are gonna do some board gaming before we jump into the fantasy role playing. So I will have a review of Heart of Crown in the very near future. As I mentioned before, the game is for 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, plays around 30 to 60 minutes. It is available right now, and it does carry an MSRP of $49.95. So, there you have it. Like I said, shorter show. Hey, Kabuki Kid popped in. Kabuki Kid's catching the end of the show. Yeah, no news tonight, Kabuki Kid. I still just feeling... I better shake all this by the time I get to Gen Con, or I will not be happy. Gen Con is my favorite show every year. And better not be dragging when I get there. So, anyway, on Monday's show, a couple of things before I wrap up. First off, I do want to point out that we're getting closer and closer to doing this contest, right? I mean, the giveaway's on. We're getting closer to actually getting to the magic mark to be able to do the giveaway. So, if you are not following the show regularly, you may not know that I am doing a special giveaway. It's my Pathfinder Adventure card game giveaway. So, you can score a copy of the core game plus the Curse of the Crimson Throne Adventure Path, the first adventure path for the new edition, as well as the first pack of promo cards. Oh, yeah. So, pretty simple to win. First off, I need to hit 1,600 subscribers by August 5th. Last I looked, we are 48 subscribers away from giving the first of the prize packages out. If I hit 1,800 subscribers by the 5th of August, I will give out 2 copies of the prize pack. And if I hit 2,000 subscribers by August 5th, I will give out 3 copies of the prize pack. Do want to point out, to win, you have to be in the US or Canada, but it is pretty easy to get in the running. All you have to do is A, be a subscriber, and B, comment on one of the videos on the Gaming Gang channel from now until August 5th. That's it. So, we're looking good. We're looking like we should at least be able to give out one of these giveaway copies. Fingers crossed. See, and the thing is, I'm sitting there thinking, so if I get to like 1,596, do I do the contest? Because, I mean, you know, it was hit 1,600, right? I don't know. Hopefully we don't have to worry about crossing that bridge. So, anyway, I was going to say, on Monday's show, I will be unboxing Yeah, this is heavy. I will be unboxing and taking a first look at Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea from my pals over at Japanime Games. And then on Tuesday, I will be reviewing Aeon's End from Indie Boards and Cards. So, and of course, the rest of next week, I will be in Indianapolis for Gen Con. So that's it for today's show. As I like to point out, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, please visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. By now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Everybody who was hanging out in chat, thank you so very much. I kind of had a feeling maybe I'd be flying solo tonight, so much appreciate you popping in to keep me company. Of course, if you were watching live and didn't chime in chat, why not? Nobody bites. Well, I guess unless you ask them to. And of course, I love everybody who watches the show after the stream finishes rendering as well. So I will be back on Monday. So until then, everybody have a great weekend. Have a very safe weekend. And I will see you next week.
Thanks again for watching The Daily Dope, presented by The Gaming Gang. If you like this episode, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up. And if you dig the channel, please subscribe. If you'd like to check out our previous episode, click right here. And if you want to check out a somewhat randomly selected episode, give a click right down here. It'll be like opening a box of Cracker Jacks. You just don't know what you'll get. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'm Jeff McAleer.